What does this picture mean to you? It sparked quite the conversation online. This is a North Carolina high school track athlete holding up his hand as he crosses the finish line in the final race of the state championship on Friday. Maybe you saw this over the weekend, or maybe it's all new to you. Either way, let's break this down. Long story short, a high school lost out on a state championship in North Carolina because of how an athlete celebrated in the final race of the meet. Here's the full clip. That student athlete is Nyan Brown from Mallard Creek High School in Charlotte. He's set to run track for NC State later this year. You can see the shock on his face when the ref disqualified him at the end of the race, saying the gesture with his arm, with his hand, was unsportsmanlike, that he was showboating or taunting. You see, Brown was the final leg of the 4x400 relay, and he won it. And that would have given Mallard Creek enough points to win the overall track and field state championship. But because of that DQ, they didn't get those points, so they came up short. They got second. Jordan High School in Durham won the state championship instead. The school posted about it on their Instagram page. It's the first time their men's track and field team has won a state title. We reached out to Jordan High School. They declined to comment. But this story, this conversation isn't really about Jordan High School. It's about the call by the official. Was the gesture really that bad? Did the punishment fit the crime? Was it even a crime in the first place? We want you to be a part of this conversation. Please send an email, 7 p.m. at WRAL.com. We want to share some of your feedback at the end of tonight's show, so please do let us know what you think. People across the sports world are getting in on the conversation. Robert Griffin III, the Heisman Trophy winner and former track athlete, he wrote, "A high school was robbed of a state championship. This isn't taunting or unsportsmanlike." Here's the State High School Athletic Association's entry into the debate. Quote, "We recognize there is deep disappointment experienced by the student athletes, coaches, and the school community involved." And here's a statement from the athlete, from Nyan Brown. It reads in part, "While I am disappointed in the final decision, I believe this moment creates an opportunity for a larger conversation to create clearer expectations for how young athletes can express joy in meaningful moments." Mallard Creek, by the way, is now appealing the ruling to the State Board of Education. The state rules ban taunting and flagrant behavior and disrespecting officials, and this can result in a disqualification. But a rule like that we saw on the track there, it's pretty subjective, right? We all have different thresholds of what is disrespectful or flagrant. The conversation around this 30-second clip is huge. But the problem with short clips is that you miss the context, like what happened before that relay. Because it turns out Nyan Brown and his team had received warnings earlier that day. Was that a major piece of this? I spoke to the guy who took the viral video, Joel Bryan, a member of HighSchoolOT, who was there covering the track meet. Well, Joel, I am so glad to be chatting with you. This story that you broke has drawn incredible reaction online. More than 8 million views on X alone, thousands of comments. Now, since your story, what's your impression now that you've had some time to process it?
We knew that it was going to be, there was going to be some feedback from local people, local coaches, people in the state. We kind of had a feeling that people, locally were not going to be happy with it. But what's been surprising is just kind of the national attention it's gotten. It's pretty much a universal kind of agreement that, it probably shouldn't have happened the way it did. It was kind of a benign celebration to many people. And it's kind of captivated everybody.
Officials told you that Mallard Creek received a warning for taunting after the 300-meter earlier in the day, and that a second violation resulted in the disqualification. So from your vantage point, was that a point of big conversation leading up to the 4x400 meter relay? Like, what did you see out there?
Yeah, I would say that in general, track is going to be a little bit stricter in their officiating. All sports have to follow the same sportsmanship guidelines. but track kind of is notorious for just being a little bit stricter. And allegedly that Mallard Creek was warned after 300-meter hurdles earlier in the event not to kind of showboat or in their words taunt. So that allegedly they were warned of that. That's what the officials said. I did not see that personally, but I do know that the officials did come up to us, the media, afterwards and encouraged us to not basically encourage them to kind of celebrate and showboat because it will result in a disqualification. So I'm kind of inclined to think, if they came up and told us, the media, they probably did say something to him. The question to me is, was there an official notification of the coach? Because the whole point of high school sports and everything is really all learning, right? So we have to kind of give these notifications to coaches so they can make a teaching point so that doesn't happen again. And Mallard Creek asserts that they were not giving a formal warning by the official that Nyan was kind of given this warning. So that's kind of where the problem is that here is whether that warning happened or not.
You bring up the coach, and I want to ask you about him. The Athletic is reporting that the coach feels like his school was targeted by the officials, that there was inconsistent officiating throughout the week. Of course, that's a line we've all heard before, right? And we've felt before in sports when our team is losing. But I'm wondering if you noticed anything that actually validates what he said.
Yeah, I was there all 4 days. There were lots of athletes doing celebrations. I guess the sticking point of this one was that he was holding the hand up as he was crossing a line before he technically finished. But there were other celebrations that were happening right before the finish line like that throughout the week. And it was a mixture of schools. It wasn't just one school. It was males and females. It was a mixture of everybody.
Joel, great reporting. Thank you so much for your insights.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we make of this? Everyone seems to have an opinion on the situation. But when all the attention shifts away, what will be the lasting impact of this story? I go back to what Nyan Brown said in his statement, that he hopes this leads to clearer expectations for young athletes. Maybe that's possible. Maybe they change the rules, or maybe they change how they interpret the rules, or maybe they change how the rules are enforced. Maybe that will be the lasting impact, keeping the conversation going even when the noise quiets down. Keep those emails coming, 7 p.m. at WRAL.com. We know you've got thoughts on this. Let us know what you think about the video and where you land in this conversation. We'll try to get to a few of your emails at the end of the newscast. Tonight's One Last Thing is your feedback. Whoa, we've got a lot of people weighing in, emailing us about the track athlete who was disqualified. One viewer wrote, "Pro athletes need to be better role models. Humility is the sign of great sportsmanship."
I don't know. What do you think? I mean, I come from I believe that pro sports are a different thing, that they get to do things differently than younger athletes. That said, pro sports that model has started to infiltrate all the other steps down, college, high school. These kids are looking to build brands. They're online. They have social media followings, and that could encourage some, people to act like the pros do. Why not?
Well, let's talk about Tony.
Tony wrote and said he's done it before and was told not to do it. Just follow the rules.
He was warned, right? But there's all of this back and forth over, was he warned properly? Did the coach get involved? Did the coach know that he was being warned? There's all this back and forth there. Hey, let's check in with Dee. Dee said, taking away the win from that child for lifting his arm slightly is terrible. Can they not get excited about the win? Right.
2 seconds left in the show. You want to answer that one in 2 seconds?
Good night.
Maybe tomorrow.